Hello, welcome to my channel, Soul Horizons Tarot. I'm going to be doing a year reading, 2023 reading for the sign of April. Keep in mind this is a collective reading. If it doesn't resonate or if it doesn't sound familiar, it is not your story. If it does not fit your situation, we are going to start off in December of 2022 and in November 2023. So the first month, December, will be kind of a current energy situation, but some of that stuff won't play out till maybe later in the month. But yeah, if it does resonate or if you do enjoy this, just feel free to share, like, subscribe, and or leave a comment. So I've already got your deck shuffled. I'm just going to cut it and we're going to start. I will be saying the signs of the cards. Keep in mind they might not apply to the situation. Just pay more attention to the energy. Alright, so we're going to cut the deck. Okay. Oh boy, rough start to your year. Wow. By mid-year, you got some powerful shifts in your energy. Okay, and do the same thing to the clarifying deck. Okay. I know some of this is probably out of frame, but we'll get it. Okay, so let's start with, I almost want to start with the overall look. Major themes, heavy energy starting here in December, going through to both January and into February, possibly even March. Well, it looks like it follows you for a little while. But big shifts of energy mid-year from June, July, August. Those are three big energies to say that because there's majors there. Alright, so let's start off with your current energy situation. So your main pull is the Three of Swords, so that's going to be your main energy. Everything to the side or below is going to be a clarifier. With the Three of Swords, December might be a month of kind of disappointment, sadness. Some of you may be sick, or you're dealing with someone who is, I only say that because Three of Swords can sometimes talk about poor health, possibly sometimes even surgery. But the Three of Swords is a card about heartbreak, sadness, grieving, sorrow, loss. Now, with that we have the Two of Wands, which is a card about standing at a crossroads, trying to make a decision, or not yet taking an action because we're kind of waiting. We're trying to decide. We're thinking the options over. Okay, we have a choice to make or an action to take. I'm going to clarify that later on to see if this was a choice or an action that was made that brought you heartbreak, whether your own or somebody else's actions. But we'll see. Tell me one more about the Two of Wands and the Three of Swords for Aries for the month of December 2022. What's going on? Okay. Hermit. Alright, so yeah, some of you have isolated yourselves from a painful experience or situation. You've gone within. Maybe some of you are kind of withholding that, kind of sitting in your pain, but you're trying to evaluate things. You're trying to reach some kind of clarity or internal wisdom is what the Hermit's about. Seeking solace within, seeking silence. Some of you could be withdrawing, isolating, just going quiet. But the Hermit is also very winter card. So it could be kind of like seasonal depression around the holidays. Maybe you're kind of struggling financially. And it's a hard month because it's a month that has kind of turned into something that's very consumer focused. So I do want to see what that Three of Swords is about, why it's here. We have Virgo energy. Tell me about the Three of Swords. Why is that here? What does it represent for Aries for the month of December 2022? Why is that their main energy situation? We had two cards flip. Okay. Some of you could have lost a job. Some of you... Why is that so loud? Some of you could have had a situation surrounding a mother. Maybe you are a mother and you've suffered some kind of loss as a wife or as a mother, as a business owner possibly. Some of you, yeah, you could have, or there's heartbreak surrounding a mom or a mother figure, or your own sense of stability has kind of taken a pretty big hit with the Tower card. That's Taurus, Libra, and Scorpio, Aries energy there. I really prefer to get one card. Tell me about that Three of Swords. Tell me about that Three of Swords. Why is that here in the month of December for Aries? So that Tower card can talk about loss, major shifts and changes. Could be the loss of a home, the loss of a job, the loss of financial security, the loss of a relationship. Tell me about that Three of Swords. Why is that here for Aries for the month of December? What does that represent for Aries, please? Obviously, for a certain, it'll be different for everyone. And if you guys are not dealing with some kind of disappointment at the least, or heartbreak at the worst, in December, then this is probably not your reading, but maybe this hasn't happened, because we're not all the way through December yet. Tell me about this. Three of Swords, three shuffles. 1, 2, and 3. Five of Cups. Doesn't really say, just loss of something that was already done. Loss of something from the past. Mourning something that was lost. For some of you, this could be memories kind of coming up around Christmas time. Perhaps, you know, I hope this isn't the case, but for some of you, maybe there was, you know, a death, and the around Christmas time is when these memories always seem to hurt the most. For others of you, it could be, again, like a financial thing where you feel like you can't keep up with bills and just, you know, utilities are a little bit more expensive in the winter. Tell me about that too. Well, for some of us, I guess. Not everyone's going through winter. But, no, what am I doing? Let me look at the Two of Wands. This is about a choice. So some of you may regret a choice or an action that was taken, or you were hurt by someone else's. Tell me about that Two of Wands. Alright. Looks like it was probably yours. Now you could have been dealing with another fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sag, strong Leo there. But this could have just been an action that was taken by you, has brought you some kind of grief, some kind of sorrow, some kind of disappointment. But keep in mind, it could have been someone else's. And you may have separated yourself from this person, or you may just have separated yourself from kind of everyone around. Kind of withdrawn, gone within. Tell me about that hermit. Tell me about that hermit. I really don't have to. Okay, oh wow. Yeah, for some of you, this is just very self-involved, not like in a pretentious way or conceited way. We're just, because these two could represent the same person, you as a fire sign, or you could have been dealing with a divine partner, a partner, doesn't have to be, but they do show up as the same. King of Wands, Queen of Wands. So some of you could have separated from your partner here. There was a breakup, or there was a painful experience in the situation. Oh, alright. So let's get a little bit more information on that 3 of Swords and 5 of Cups. Okay, success came out, but I feel like this was supposed to lead to success, but there was a failure here. It was supposed to mean success for you. Tell me about this 3 of Swords and 5 of Cups for Aries for the month of December 2022. Alright. So let's see. The first one to come out was Wreath, Sorrow over a Loss. Okay. So some of you are experiencing some kind of loss, or you already had, and it's just the memories of that are very strong now. And Pig, beware of greed. Now some of you could have made some kind of selfish choice, or you were dealing with someone that made a selfish choice. But keep in mind, the tea leaf cards, something about wreath may be very significant, something about a pig, a literal pig, might be very significant to you. Let's look at the 2 of Wands with the King of Wands. Why is that here? What does it represent for Aries? What does that 2 and King of Wands represent here, please? Okay. Financial pinch and fan. Romance, celebration, party. Oh, well, that's lobster and fan. So someone could have made a decision regarding romance that led to some kind of loss in money. I mean, I don't really know. This was the first one to come out, so I'm gonna keep this one, the financial pinch. Maybe you made some kind of choice that you hoped would help you out in a financial scarcity kind of situation, and it did not. Yeah, because financial pinch and greed, beware of greed. Maybe you thought you could quick fix something and it actually made things worse, or you were dealing with someone that thought that they were being greedy, or I mean, this is the month of gift giving, so some of you could be overextending yourself when it comes to buying presents, and if you celebrate. Alright, so let's look at this Hermit and the Queen of Wands. Tell me about the Hermit and the Queen of Wands. For some of you, maybe you're dealing with people that expect a lot during the holidays, and you're not able to reach that standard. Maybe you're financially struggling, and so this is why you've kind of isolated yourself. I'm not taking both of those because I don't know. Hermit and the Queen of Wands. Alright. Some of you have gone to seek your fortune because of this situation. just be careful of risky investments. Tell me one more about Hermit and the Queen of Wands. We have, that was beetle, we now have mice, discord among friends or family. Yes, so you're trying to separate yourself from a situation that's brought some kind of tense or uncomfortable situation. Maybe it's as simple as like a family get together, like you always get together around the holidays, and this year you're not in that Christmas spirit because you're suffering some kind of loss, plus and or you're in a financial bind. There's several ways to interpret this, but the main thing here going on is that Three of Swords with the Five of Cups. Some of you could feel guilt, shame, or remorse over a decision that was made, or you were hurt by someone else's choice, and you are trying to isolate yourself from this person or just from everyone in general because of this Three of Swords. Some of you, maybe you went to seek out your fortune and it did not pan out. It was not fruitful. Alright, so let's look at January. Our main card here is the Two of Swords, not wanting to face something, not wanting to acknowledge something, sitting in indecision, trying to hide from the truth. We have Pisces energy here with the High Priestess. So it's something that you're well aware of, or at least you're subconsciously aware of it. It's your intuition trying to tell you something. It could be a secret that you're hiding as well, or you're not trying to acknowledge. You're trying to keep it to yourself in the month of January. But it feels like something you're just not wanting to face, a truth or a realization, or your gut instinct that you're not trying to deal with right now with that Two of Swords. Tell me one more with the High Priestess and the Two of Swords for Aries for the month of January 2023. Tell me about one more with the High Priestess and the Two of Swords. Tell me one more with that High Priestess and Two of Swords, please. Oh, we almost had one and then we had three. So the Empress did try to come back out. Again, it could involve a mother, or you could be a mother, so it could involve your children, or it doesn't have to be a woman, it can be a man, a parent, and or a significant lover. But again, it can talk about finance. Tell me, let me do 3 shuffles. One with a High Priestess and Two of Swords. One. Taking 2 or 3 cards. 2 and 3. 7 of Wands, yeah. Whatever this is that you don't want to face, you're trying to protect yourself from the truth. Or it could be that you're trying to protect others from the truth. You're keeping something to yourself, something hidden, something secret, or you're not trying. There's something you don't want to acknowledge. You don't want to face. For some of you, if you're trying to protect someone from something, you're doing it because you love them and you want to protect them. So let's look at that and see what that's about. What's the High Priestess and the Two of Swords about? What are we not trying to face here in the month of January 2023 for Aries? What are they trying to hide from, or not indulge, or not expose themselves to? What's going on with the High Priestess? The High Priestess just flipped. again in this deck. Dadgummit, it went back in. And the other one is the Five of Wands. It could be your own internal conflict. It could be that you're just not wanting to get involved in drama. Alright, Eight of Swords. Maybe some of you are keeping it secret that you are struggling, mentally struggling with something, that you feel trapped, stuck. Like there's no escape. For some of you, it could have something to do with prison, literally, but usually this is mental prison, self-imposed mental prison. It could be that you don't want help. You don't want to ask for assistance because you don't want anyone to see you struggling in the month of January. Your pride, you're protecting your own pride, possibly. Tell me about that Seven of Wands. What are we protecting here? What are we defending? Why is that Seven of Wands here? What does it represent? 1, 2, and 3. The Magician. Yeah, for the majority of you, you want to fix this problem yourself, and you don't want anybody to see you struggle. You're kind of protecting your ego. You could be trying to protect, if you have children, maybe you're trying to protect them by keeping it all within, like not letting it be known that you're struggling, that you're having a hard time, that you feel stuck or trapped or bound to something. Tell me about that Two of Swords. Tell me about that Two of Swords. Alright. What is this? Rabbit. Too much concern with sexual matters. Okay. So something to do with maybe a partner. Maybe you're having dysfunctions when it comes to your libido, or your partner is. Maybe you're going unsatisfied, or you are too hyper-focused or too hyper-aware. But with the Two of Swords, it's like something that you don't want to admit to, or you don't want to deal with, or you're trying to keep secret. Anything else on that Two of Swords? Okay. Muddled, unclear thinking. I mean, some of you could have some type of sexual addiction as well. We have rabbit and forest. Tell me about that High Priestess. So with the muddled, unclear thinking, it's you're choosing not to acknowledge something here. Okay, so with the High Priestess, we had heart come out, love, deep affection, and caring. Okay, so there could be love here, or hidden love, secret love, but it's something about sexual matters is something you're trying not to discuss or disclose. Tell me about, I don't want to take that many. Tell me about anything else on the High Priestess. We have bowl, plenty of material things. So you could have everything, but maybe intimacy is an issue. Those are my secondary. Fan came back out, romance, celebration, and party. So some of you are in a romantic situation, whether new or old, it doesn't really matter. Maybe you guys are struggling to find the spark again in January. Tell me about, okay. Tell me about the Seven of Wands, please. Maybe some of you are trying to hide the fact that you are not interested in intimacy. Right. Someone you know is undependable and insincere. with feather. We also had coins come out. Money will be coming to you. Some of you could be dealing with an older man, or you yourself are an older man. Tell me one more. You're protecting yourself from someone that is undependable and insincere, or maybe there's a fear there that you can't depend on anyone. You have to deal with this on your own. We had bread, period of prosperity and abundance. So that's the third card now. You had coins earlier. I put it back. I didn't see how it was applicable, but it's romance is here twice, and abundance. Plenty of material things. Money will be coming to you, and bread is here as well. So some of you may be fighting for a job. Maybe you worked really hard to gain a certain position within your career or work, and you're trying to protect it here as well. But there's this other stuff going on. All right. Some indecision, or the Two of Swords can also talk about not wanting to face something in the month of January. It does feel like you're kind of trying to struggle through something, fight through something on your own as well, or maybe for someone else, because there's multiple stories here. Alright, so for the month of February, we have the Page of Pentacles and the Four of Cups. Page of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Maybe learning something new, starting a new job, a new business, going back to school or completing school. This is the student card with the Four of Cups. Maybe doing something you really don't want to do, but you feel like you have to, or you're compelled to do it. Tell me one more with the Four of Cups and the Page of Pentacles for Aries. Thank you. Yes, definitely starting something new here, but with the Four of Cups, it's like you had no other choice. It wasn't your first choice. It's kind of the energy I'm getting from that. A new beginning here in February. It could be job, future, school, etc. Finance related, basically. I'm going to clarify and see what this is. We have Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and we have Aries, Leo, Sag. So tell me about the Page of Pentacles. It could represent child or children or messengers, messages, offers, but usually means new. Tell me about Page of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. We did have the Three of Cups come out. So this can talk about reunions, getting together with friends, socializing more. Maybe you've met some new people. Maybe you're just going back out on the dating scene here, kind of tentatively. Maybe you're getting back out there after your period of hermit mode. Tell me about that Four of Cups. Why is that here? The Hierophant. Okay, for some of you, you could have had some kind of breakup or an ending with something that was supposed to be solid, was supposed to be long-term, some kind of commitment, whether that's a commitment in a relationship or a commitment to a job or a commitment to family. Something here you kind of got bored with, you lost interest in, you were no longer satisfied, so you went in a new direction. Okay, so you're leaving this to go in a new direction, take a new path. Getting inspired or motivated to do something about this. I'm not sitting in this energy anymore, so we're trying something. Tell me about that Page of Pentacles. Why is that here? What does it represent? me about that Page of Pentacles, please. For the month of February. Be careful, do not take risks, Claw. I think that's why that tentative energy, I even said the word tentative, like I don't usually use that. I think that's the energy you're taking on, is you're carefully stepping into something new. You're trying a practical approach, a slow, methodical approach. Tell me what else with that Page of Pentacles, okay. Yeah, for some of you, you may even be going back to school. You may be taking a new class, finishing out a degree, because we have Rainbow. The most difficult part of a situation is over. I think this was the difficult part. This is the tail of this. You're going in a new direction with the Rainbow, and then we have Desk. Pay attention to your work. So desk, I think school desk. That's kind of old school, but sitting at your desk doing your work. With the Page of Pentacles, this could be a new job. Okay, tell me about that Four of Cups with the Magician, or the Hierophant, sorry. Hierophant. That's Taurus energy. Tell me about that Four of Cups. Why is that here? What does it represent? For Aries in the month of February 2023. Four of Cups. Something that you had committed to in the past was no longer satisfying. You were no longer happy. You were bored, or you were no longer interested. Okay, the first one that came out was Turkey. Someone is behaving stupidly. That could be you, it could have been someone else. But because we have that be careful, do not take risks, I think you're not supposed to take any actions that would make you feel like you made a stupid mistake. Maybe with whatever this is talking about, you had made a bad decision in the past. We did have that Two of Wands. Somebody made a bad call, and it ended up in heartbreak up here. I don't know if that was you or someone you were dealing with. Someone is behaving stupidly. Either you or someone that you're involved with. Alright, actually I'm going to do one more. I don't have the time for it, but maybe you were just fed up with someone as well, or maybe you got fed up with yourself. Okay, so the one that just came out after that. Danger, especially in money matters. So maybe someone made a stupid decision based on or regarding money. I did say don't take risks, don't invest impulsively or irresponsibly. Tell me about the Page of Wands. Why is it here? What does it represent? That was quick. Eagle, triumph over troubles and obstacles. Okay, so in February I see you kind of leaving this behind, all this that was back here. It does say the most difficult part of a situation is over. You're getting into the energy of where you've left this behind and now you're going in a new direction. We go from the Turkey to the Eagle. So we're making progress here in the month of February. We're at least stepping into different energy from where we have been, which is good. Alright, so we're going to move on to March. Trying to get those nice and neat, but it's kind of impossible. Alright, so March, we have the Page of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and we also have the Tower, Aries, Scorpio energy there. Mainly Scorpio, but it is ruled by Mars, so. Either you're finding out some information here that is quite sudden, shocking, upsetting possibly, we'll see. Maybe you're digging into researching something, asking questions, and what you find out is a little bit... let's just look first before I speak on it. Tell me about the Tower and the Page of Swords for March. For the month of March, for the sign of Aries. What's going on here with the Tower and the Page of Swords? could be that you're investigating a situation that came to a sudden end. We have strength coming out here with Leo energy. So it could be something that you found out, or some information that is brought to your attention. Somebody could have asked some questions or done their own research, and they're bringing that information to you. So it could be gossip kind of thing, or like passing on information, the sharing of information, or it could be your own, what you dug up. So tell me, oh, damn it, give me a second. Could have been about lies, deception, theft, cheating, scandal, or maybe a secret is exposed with that Seven of Swords. Tell me about that. Tell me about the Tower. Oh my God, stop. Tell me about the Tower. What's that about? Why is it here? What does it represent for the month of March? Tell me about the Tower, please. Something surfaces here. Something that you didn't know. Maybe it was your own secret here. But it doesn't feel that way. It feels like something exposed, something you find out, or something that is brought to your attention. Let's see why the Strength card is there. It could be something that tests your faith, tests your patience with the Strength, or it calls on you to be brave, be courageous, be strong, physically, mentally, emotionally. Tell me about the Strength. Why is that here? What does it represent? We have Pisces, Cancer energy there, mainly Cancer. Tell me about Strength. Why is it here? What does it represent? We had Leo energy again with the Sun, so more energy of something being illuminated, something coming to light, coming to the surface. Tell me about the Strength card. One. Oh, there we go. Page of Wands. So Aries, Leo, Sag. It's almost a question of what you find out. You're trying to figure out what to do with that information. It's almost like you have to use all your wits and all your self-control in light of what is found out here, or in light in what is exposed. Alright, so let's look at that Page of Swords. Why is it here? What does it represent? For Aries in the month of March. Tell me about that Page of Swords, okay? Nest. An emotionally secure, loving family is important to you. So you could find something out about your family. It could have been something that happened back here and you're just now coming to understand what it was, what it meant. Or possibly you're looking into something that revolves around a family to see, maybe to see if someone is trustworthy or not. Maybe you're trying to expose some secrets or some things that have been hidden from someone else. And the reason is it's important for you to feel secure. So this is why you're curious. This is why you're asking questions. How about that Tower and the Moon? Oh, we got two there. Persevere and you will overcome problems. How long? Okay, I'm going to try to get one. Tell me about the Tower and the Moon. Tell me about the Tower and the Moon, please, for the month of March for Aries. Alright. Okay, we have two cards here. And remember back here I was saying you were trying to, back here in January, you're trying to protect someone. Maybe someone was trying to protect you, I don't know. Because we have two cards showing with protection. Cobweb. Okay, protected from negative forces beyond your control. and dog, protection from a powerful friend. So either you're protecting someone here, or they were protecting you, or someone is trying to protect you. You're trying to protect yourself, someone's trying to protect you here. 1 second. Alright. I feel like whatever this tower is, you're going to be protected from. I feel like maybe that's why strength is showing up. You're going to have to show a level of strength, but at the same time, whatever's trying to harm you here with the information that is found out or divulged or exposed, I think you'll be protected from the worst of it. Sorry. Tell me about strength with the Page of Wands. Please. Time to get out of a situation, but it kind of fell out. Strength and the Page of Wands. Maybe you'll get a heads up before something collapses or is uprooted. Let's see. Seahorse. Family matters. So an emotional, secure, loving family is important to you, and then we have family matters. Maybe someone within your family is protecting you. Maybe you're going to have to rise to the occasion for someone else's protection. There could be a fair woman, someone with blonde, gray, or white hair. You're either dealing with that person or you could be that person. This could be just confirmation. So we're going to move on. I think you're being protected here. It's like you're being protected from the fallout of a situation. Whether that's by a family member, a friend, a coworker, possibly a boss, or it could even be like your guardian angels here stepping in and trying to get you out of harm's way. Alright, so month of April, we have the King of Pentacles and the Devil. Strong Capricorn energy as well as Taurus and Virgo. But Taurus, Capricorn, or any earth sign. Let's see what's going on here. Tell me one more with the Devil and the King of Pentacles. One more with the Devil and the King of Pentacles. For some of you, this is your birthday month here in April. March or April. Tell me about Devil or King of Pentacles for the month of April for Aries. What's going on here with the Devil and the King of Pentacles? Alright, we're going to do 3 shuffles. 1. Let's say that's 2. And 3. 3 of Wands. Okay. I want to see what that Devil energy is about. I wonder if this is a obsession or fixation on something to do with work. So maybe some of you go into overdrive and you get really obsessed or obsessive about work, finance, stability. But with the 3 of Wands, this can be a little bit about complacency, because sometimes the King of Pentacles can be quite stubborn. I want to see, first of all, why that Devil energy is here. This is unhealthy habits, vices, addictions. Some of you could be spending too much or hoarding your resources to an unhealthy degree. Maybe you're working too hard, becoming like a workaholic in the month of April, because you're hyper fixated on money, materialistic pursuits, maybe status. Tell me about the devil. Why is that here? What does it represent? All right, the Two of Swords. So again, we have the Two of Swords, which is way back here in, I believe, yeah, January. So it's showing up here again. This is a thing that you're trying not to acknowledge. It could be somebody else, it could be things that you do yourself, but it's unhealthy patterns, toxic behaviors, or behavioral patterns. Fear, codependency, addictions. It's anything that kind of we bind ourselves to. It's a contract we sign, whether literally or figuratively. It's an unhealthy, sometimes, contract. And I do think it is unhealthy because we're trying not to deal with it with that Two of Swords. We're trying not to acknowledge it. We're trying not to see it. Maybe you don't want to see it in another person. You're ignoring the red flags here. You're either ignoring the red flags or you are ignoring something you're doing that is an unhealthy pattern. Tell me what's going on with that Three of Wands. And for some of you, I'm getting this energy of like hoping that things get better without doing too much about it. Without like really truly fixing the problem. You're going after the Page of Swords and the Ten of Swords. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You're curing the symptom and not the cause here, is what the energy I'm getting here. King of Pentacles, please. This could be about work, finance, security, providing. Tell me about that King of Pentacles. 1, 2, 3, 5 of Pentacles. Okay, some of you may have procrastinated to a point where there's no plan B. Others of you may have actually signed some kind of contract in which, you know, it did back here talk about the need to be careful with money. So some of you may have, like, maybe you signed a contract on a house and you couldn't afford the rent, or you bought a new car and you couldn't afford the payments, or you contractually bound yourself to something that you couldn't, and now you're feeling the pressure of that, and you're kind of hoping it gets better, trudging along, hoping it gets better, but I think you're kind of kicking yourself at the same time when you do think about it. Tell me about that King of Pentacles with the Five of Pentacles. Some of you could be financially struggling in the month of April. Tell me about that King and Five of Pentacles, please. No, I'm not taking two. You're waiting for something to end here. Tell me about that King and Five of Pentacles. Bell just came out with an announcement. That doesn't tell me anything. unsettled times need to plan ahead. That feels much better. Okay, you could receive an announcement that puts that brings you back to reality, snaps you into reality. Unsettled times need to plan ahead. Something that you had been ignoring, you will be taken care of in difficult times. So you may become dependent on someone here based on what happened, based on something that you were ignoring. It may put you in a situation where you have to ask for help, especially financially, but does not have to be. Tell me about... But it's a bad kind of help because it almost feels like it comes with strings attached with the devil. Tell me about the devil and the Two of Swords. Okay. Persevere and you will overcome problems. I think you need to rely a lot on yourself here and not become too dependent, because whoever or whatever this devil is, whether it's some type of financial aid or something to that effect, like borrowing money, a loan, something like that, it comes with strings attached. Tell me about the Three of Wands with the Page and Ten of Swords. Tell me about that Three of Wands, please. What's going on with that Three of Wands? Birth or conception of a child or enterprise. We have crib. And purse. Pay attention to your finances. So there's two cards here now about talking about pay attention. Need to plan ahead, pay attention. So you need to be cautious in the month of April, especially to anything you sign. This is a contract. Here we have someone actually signing something. This may very well, this Three of Wands may be kind of a warning to wait it out and see, to observe, to ask questions, to do some research before you sign your name to anything. Because again, there may be some things that you don't know, some legal binding legal code, or like what's in between the lines here, what's hidden in between the lines. So be careful in the month of April. Moving on to May, we have the Two of Wands again with the Queen of Pentacles. So again, we're standing at a crossroads, but it's the main energy now. And we have the Queen of Pentacles. We're back here. We had the King of Pentacles. So this is a softer energy. One, two, three, four, five. Yeah, this is the last one. Okay. Tell me one more with that Queen of Pentacles, Two of Wands. One more with the Queen of Pentacles, Two of Wands. Knight of Cups and the Devil showing up again. Queen of Pentacles, Two of Wands, please, for the month of May for Aries. What's going on with that Queen of Pentacles and Two of Wands? Alright, 3 shuffles. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so what's up here? 5 of Cups. Judgment. It's almost like you're pushed into a situation where you have to make a choice that you don't really want to make, or go down a road you don't really want to make. What is this choice? What is this crossroads? 6 of Swords. Some of you could be moving. Some of you could be walking away from a situation that no longer brings you peace. Some of this could talk about literal travel. Tell me about that Queen of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles. Yeah, it's like a decision that you're standing at a crossroads because it's not an easy one. It's not an easy call to make. Possibly because you could have to walk away from someone or something. And following this energy back here, this kind of might force your hand a little bit to make some kind of judgment call. Tell me, we have boot come out. I haven't asked, so I'm going to put it back up. Increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals. Yeah, it just puts more pressure on you. Whatever this is back here, pretty much the whole thing is leading up to this moment, it feels like. To the month of May. Tell me about, oh my gosh, stop. Two of Wands and the Six of Swords. Two of Wands and the Six of Swords. What's that about? Why is it here? What does it represent? Okay, table. Hard work again. So another one about hard work. Persevere if you want to achieve your goals. So you know whatever this is, whatever choice you're faced with, whatever path you take, it's kind of like letting go. Letting go of the crutch. Because remember back here you had strings attached to a situation that would help you, but now it's like you have to let it go and do it on your own here in the month of May. The choice is either stay tied to whatever this was or to move on. You know it's going to be harder, but it's still an option. It is an option that's being presented to you to make a choice here. Some of you could be literally going on a short journey, short trip, possibly moving. Tell me about that Queen of Pentacles and Queen and Two of Pentacles here. It could be that some of you are looking for a new job because you you felt like you couldn't make ends meet, or schedules were really bad or really poor or something like that. Tell me about that Queen of Pentacles and Queen and Two of Pentacles. Alright, we have lightning. Control your anger or you will be sorry. And ant. Work, achievement, success. Maybe it pushes you to a position where you feel like if you don't leave the situation, you're going to explode. You're going to lose your cool. And it's not a healthy environment for you, so you know that you have to, it's making you angry basically, but you don't seem to be getting anywhere with where you're at, so you're considering the option of walking away, choosing a different path. Tell me about that Five of Cups and Judgment. Yeah, we just had bridge, successfully overcoming a problem. So that's confirmation. No, come on. Temporary problems just came out. Tell me about that Five of Cups and Judgment. Alright, wishbone. A wish is granted. Tell me about the Five of Cups and Judgment. Five of Cups and Judgment, please, for the month of May. Alright, thank you. Bear. Danger, especially in money matters. So the feeling that I'm getting from this is kind of a luck of the draw kind of energy. You're walking into uncertainty, but you know what you're leaving behind. It's a choice of staying where you know what to expect versus walking into a whole new direction or choosing a new path where you're not, there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding it. Whatever this is, though, in the other part is, you know that it's going to come with a lot of possibly legwork or labor intensive. It's like stepping away from the thing that you were relying on. Again, letting go of the crutch of whatever this was, this devil energy, depending on someone or something else. In May, you're going to be faced with the decision to either stay where you've been or to do something differently. Alright, so June. This is that energy shift, major. This is your energy here with the Emperor. That's Aries. And then we have the Queen of Cups. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. I'm going to switch it up. Tell me what's going on in June with the Queen of Cups and the Emperor for Aries 2023, June 2023. What's going on with the Queen of Cups and the Emperor? It feels like you're giving yourself a little bit more free range here. Tell me about that Queen of Cups, Emperor. Allowing your strongest assets, like your strongest strengths, to shine. The one that came out was the Knight of Pentacles. We are moving slow, strategically, thoughtfully with the Knight of Pentacles, but we are taking control. Or we feel like we have more power over the situation. It's almost like back here, you were not in your jurisdiction, and now you're back in. It's like you're playing on home. It's a home game now. We're in your area of strength, and this is where you thrive. This is where you bloom. I'm actually gonna skip that. No, I do want to know what that Knight of Pentacles is about. Tell me about that Knight of Pentacles. Tell me about that Knight of Pentacles. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Why is it here? What's it represent, please? The month of June. 1. Okay. Yeah, it's like you're being more thoughtful with your approach. You're taking things slow. Maybe you're forced to take things slow. Virgo energy, so very strong Virgo. Yeah, you're being more strategic. What about this Queen of Cups? Yeah, it's like you're allowing things a little bit more. But it feels more like you're giving yourself free rein. You're accepting the wheel here. It's almost like an energy, I've allowed something or someone else to have too much control, and in June you kind of step up to the mantle. Tell me about the Emperor. Very good. Success. So you're moving towards your success in the month of June. Tell me about the Emperor. Okay. We have close-up dog. Pleasure with a close friend. So some of you, you might have success with a friend. Maybe there's like a joint project or something that you're working on with a friend. Tell me about the Queen of Cups. Tell me about that Queen of Cups with the Wheel of Fortune. Why is that here? What does it represent? Tell me about the Queen of Cups, please. What's going on with that Queen of Cups? Short journey again. Horse. We do have a horse right here, which is in the, is that Taurus's position? I believe so. Queen of Cups, please. Who or what does that represent? Maybe some of you go on a short journey with a close friend. It doesn't really represent, it's not really represented in the tarot. Alright, Lily, spiritual love. Maybe some of you go on a short trip or a journey to experience some kind of, maybe it's a retreat. It could be to meet up with somebody, meet up with a friend, have a reunion with a friend. But the energy behind that with that Emperor is like, I'm taking control here. I'm taking over my life. I'm not outsourcing anymore. Tell me about the Knight of Pentacles, romance celebration party. So for some of you, June is a good month to go out, be seen. Tell me about that Knight of Pentacles with the Hermit. A stubborn, aggressive person. Yeah, and that's both of these cards. This one's kind of stubborn, digs their heels in, and well, so can the Aries or the Emperor, but aggressive. You know, the Emperor demands, makes demands, but he also follows through. I say he because that's, tell me one more. It's like you're not backing down. Career. So success in career could be very strong in the month of June. And I think, well, there could be a friend that helps you in some way in that scenario. I'm going to keep that one. But you kind of, you're taking charge here in the month of June, it feels like. You're accepting the responsibility of taking control. So June is a big shift for you. Alright, so let's look at July. We have the Hanged Dragon, or the Hangman, Pisces energy, with the Five of Wands. We do hit a little bit of a hang-up, a forced stop, a period of no movement, no progress, stagnation, sitting still or being in limbo, stagnancy. But it's also a time that we can take to reflect, to look at things from a different perspective, see things from different angles, kind of center ourselves. Take one more with the Five of Wands and the Hangman for the month of July 2023 for Aries. Okay. We have the Four of Swords. It did come out in the challenge position though. Yeah, you feel like you're being challenged here. You feel like your progress is being held up. You feel like somebody threw a barricade up in front of you. Like, where did this wall come from? I feel like I'm in an Acme cartoon where someone painted, they painted a tunnel on a brick wall and I ran right into it. There's frustration here. There's frustration at the need to slow down, or the need to, this forced hibernation, or this forced moment of stillness. Tell me anything else about these five. Tell me about that Five of Wands. What's that about? I think that's just frustration, internal conflict. Tell me about that Five of Wands. Why is that here? What does it represent? Why is it here? What does it represent for Aries in the month of July 2023? Don't get frustrated. Use it as an opportunity to take, to reconsider some things, re-strategize, recalibrate, reset. You're going to be feeling frustration. Eight of Cups. Yeah, it's definitely a feeling of frustration and possibly disappointment, kind of like feeling hindered. in some way. Alright, anything about the Hangman and the Four of Swords? What's being stopped here? Or what is it that stops things? What's going on here with the Hangman and the Four of Swords? Okay. Knight of Wands. Could be yourself. I think this is just your energy that you want to go, 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 do, do, do. And it kind of feels like this. Attention's not the right word. It's like you get off here in the month of June. You're finally resuming control. Okay, you've wrestled control out of the hands of other people or other situations, and then you hit a roadblock, and your frustration is in the fact that you can't. Now it could be that another fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sag, specifically Sag, kind of shows up and creates some conflict for you, internal or external. But it feels like this is the energy that you want to lead with, but you're forced into a position where you have to just sit and wait and hold on. It feels like it's just frustration is the main thing I'm getting here. Alright, I don't know why I put that up. Actually, what was under that? Shit. What did I do? Whatever. It's fine. Tell me about the Hangman, please. Victory. The letter V, victory. Victory in some endeavor. So that's what's held up. Your victory is postponed or put off, or... Okay, that one felt stronger. Getting together with friends came out, but this is the one I want to look at. You are highly thought of. I don't know. Bow. V and bow. Somebody could be trying to distract you. Or you're not really enthused by the attention that you're getting, because in some way it's holding up your progress. I don't know. I'll keep that one. Victory in some endeavor. That's what's being held up here. Tell me about the Five of Wands. No. Tell me about the Five of Wands. Okay, a change for the better with butterfly. Yeah, it's like I'm trying to change my life here. Why can't I just proceed? Why do I have to deal with all the red tape? Tell me about the Four of Swords. I don't know which one to take, except for this one was strong. I'm going to put it back up though. Boat, money or property through an inheritance, winning or windfall. So for some of you, you may have thought that you won some money or property, some kind of windfall, but now you have to wait for all the steps initializing certain things to go through. Like there's red tape involved. Alright, tell me about that Four of Swords. That's what this... Okay. Major obstacles to overcome. At least it feels that way to you. Or it could literally be. It could be that's the truth of it. Anything else with that Five of Wands? Something is... It's like maybe you did win a victory that could change your life here, but it's on the other side of this mountain of an obstacle. Bouquet, compliments from an admirer. You had bow and I put it back up. Someone thinks highly of you, and bouquet, compliments from an admirer. Maybe this is a situation where somebody like expresses their feelings for you and it just complicates matters more. Or maybe you feel like this was the victory you could have had with someone, but there's some kind of technicality in creating that. Okay, so for some of you, you could have met someone here in July, and now in June, and then now in July, there's some resistance. Something's giving resistance. Alright, August, which is funny because we have Leo energy here. Leo with the Hangman. So the Hangman's following you a little bit into August, but with the Sun, it's like liberation, freedom. Okay, now we are freed from whatever it was that was holding us back or forcing us into submission with the Hangman here in July. That was your main one here. Now it's here, it's still attached to you a little bit in August, but the Sun is about freedom, liberation, success, victory, illumination, freedom, happiness, etc. Leo, Pisces. Tell me one more with the Hangman and the Sun, please, for the month of August 2023 for Aries. What's going on with the Hangman? Okay. Let's see. Six of Pentacles. Yeah. Things are leveling out again. Equalizing. That's the better word. Things are equalizing here. Victory over what with the Sun? What's going on with the Sun? What does that Sun represent? Okay, so this could be the moment where you finally free yourself completely from the devil that was back here in April. Some of you, this could be like paying off a debt, a loan, a bill, like an old debt. Some of you, you can finally get out from underneath the thumb of something that was kind of, this could have been the thing that was kind of holding you back. Like you couldn't do X until Z or Y and Z was cleared. Okay, so tell me about that Six of Pentacles. Tell me about that Six of Pentacles. That's Capricorn energy, by the way, with the devil. Tell me about that Six of Pentacles. What's going on there? Alright. King of Wands. So yeah, you feel more leveled, even. You feel like you're at, you're not at a disadvantage here. You're back to breaking even here, which is an improvement from where we were at the beginning of the year. Not that this is just the main theme and situation for each month. Okay, this is not going to be everything that comes up within a month. It's just the main theme. So the main theme for August will be the Sun. It's release from this devil, whatever that was for you. For some of you, you could be conquering some kind of addiction, habit, vice. Some of you could be releasing yourself from a toxic person or a toxic situation. It'll be different for everyone. But it does feel like now I'm on a level playing field again. I'm not at a disadvantage anymore. I'm not being held up. Alright. Let's look at the Sun. For some of you, you could be illuminating some habits of yourself or other people. Fair woman just came back out. So dealings or relationship with a woman with blonde, gray, or white hair. You could be this person. You could be dealing with this person. They could be a Leo, a Capricorn, Aries or Sag, or Pisces. Tell me about the Sun and the Devil here. Recognition, reward for merit. So receiving some kind of recognition here or a reward. We have Dolphin, financial gain, usually coming from something you did in the past. And I think that might have been, well, it could have been even back in April. Actually, I don't know. Tiger. Doing something risky, taking a chance. So some kind of risk that you took does pay out here in the month of August. You took a chance, you took a risk. Tell me about the Hangman. Why is that here? What does it represent? Same cards that came out before. Unsettled times, need to plan ahead. Okay, this is kind of like the energy that's clinging on to you, but it's being obliterated by the sun here. Persevere and you will overcome problems. Okay, so you do gain victory over whatever that is. Six of Pentacles. Tell me about that. Tell me about that Six of Pentacles, okay? Great good fortune. So August seems to be a very good, lucky month for you. Or at least where things are now going in your favor. Alright. So August is a high point. And I think June is also a good point. Not that all these other months are going to suck, but these are just really, they stick out more than the others. Really your strongest months are June, July, and August. I don't know why the words affirmative action just came to mind. Alright, September. Seven of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. Alright, let's look. Seven of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups for September 2023 for the sign of Aries. What's going on with the Ten of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles? One. No, I'm not going to do that. That's one. Two. And three. Alright, the one that came out is Ace of Swords. Some kind of clarity, truth with the world. It's like knowing the answer. In September, if you're wondering what you invested in is going to pay out, you receive the clarity over that in the month of September. You receive the answer, you receive the truth. What do we invest in with that Seven of Pentacles? Or what are we questioning investing? What's the Seven of Pentacles about for the month of September? It's almost like in the month of September you're kind of sitting back and counting your bags. It's that kind of energy. I don't know, I get a good energy from this, honestly. One, two. It's like the culmination of all your hard work and you're able to see the results clearly. Nine of Wands. For some of you, you could be winning the lottery or winning something that you want to protect. Tell me about that Ten of Cups. Now that could talk about a family or emotional fulfillment, reaching some kind of point of success, like the pinnacle of one, two, and three. The Star, yeah. And the Hierophant. Yeah, it's like you realize in the month of September, based on what happened back in August, I think you make some kind of decision and this is what you want to go after. Maybe some of you have found your dream job, or maybe something you have, some of you have unlocked a skill that you realize you're really good at, and you're not going to let go of this. This is a thing that you want to do, and you know it now. You know what you want to do, you know what you want, and you're going after it. You're not going to let anybody stop you or talk you out of it. In the month of September, you have a clear vision, is what I'm seeing here. Tell me about that Seven of Pentacles. Okay. For some of you, you could be protecting a relationship. Rose, romance is in the air. You are highly thought of with Beau. And it's interesting because she's clearing out, oh, they look like roses here. And maybe you're clearing a path for somebody, possibly for a connection. Oh, there went my light. Alright, I need to hurry. Ten of Cups, tell me about that. So some of you may have found a person that you are on the road to success. Okay, so there's that confirmation of you made the right decision, you made the right choice, you took the right path. Yeah, and then the Knight of Wands is about being skeptical, protecting, being on the defense, kind of like expecting the worst. You do have a club. Someone will try to make you do something against your will. So again, that energy of like, I'm going to fight for this. For some of you, it might have something to do with a romantic partner. We'll see. Tell me, we won't. But the Ace of Swords and the World. Tell me about that. What's going on with the Ace of Swords and the World? For some of you, this could be the opposite, like you're breaking up with someone. But I don't get that. Maybe, yeah. See, the World is about closing out old cycles. Maybe it's a recognition that there's certain things you're going to have to let go, situations that you have to let end, because we have Pale, time to get out of a situation. So yeah, for some of you, you could be leaving a relationship, or maybe if it wasn't a relationship, like you have to cut someone off because they're trying to distract you from the direction you're trying to go. So maybe somebody wants something with you and you don't feel the same because you have your path, your star path here, and you're wanting to go and follow that. And there's certain things that you're going to have to let end in order to achieve this, or in order to continue to achieve, because it does look like you've been winning here in the latter part of 2023. Alright, so October, we have the 8 of Pentacles. So we're at the 7, now we're at the 8, which is good progress. We're making progress, we're making headway, we're working hard. Knight of Pentacles, it's slow going. It's sometimes, you know, a little bit, what's that word? Treacherous is not the right word. Cumbersome. It's not moving quickly. It's arduous at times, annoying, frustrating, but we are making good progress going into the month of October. We're working really hard. So some of you chose to go solo when you had the opportunity to be with someone, but we chose something else. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn here with the Knight of... Oh, I'm sorry, that's the Knight of Swords, not the Knight of Pentacles. Tell me about the Knight of Swords and the 8 of Pentacles, please. Knight of Swords and 8 of Pentacles for the month of October. 1, 2, and 3. Ace of Wands. So maybe you've set the goalpost, you've moved the goalpost. What's this Ace of Wands? King of Cups. Could be a new potential start or beginning with a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio person. What are we working hard towards? It's like we're swallowing the bullet and we're going for it. Whatever we're trying to work towards. I'm trying to see 1, 2. For some of you, you could have gotten some kind of offer from someone that liked you from work. Empress. Yeah, we're working to be abundant. Empress is Taurus, Libra. We're working to expand and grow. For sticking to our guns here, I feel like, with the Knight of Swords. I'm not going to clarify that just because we're running out of time. Tell me about the Eight of Pentacles. Some of you could be starting your own business, possibly working from home, making an enterprise. But for others of you, you're just trying to get to a place where you're financially comfortable. Alright, Carriage, a journey, either physical or mental. Tell me about the Eight of Pentacles and forces working against you with Axe. So you feel like you kind of feel like your efforts are not going in the, you're not making the headway that you would like to be making. Tell me about the Eight of Pentacles and the Empress. Okay. Kite, vacation, so that's the second card here about a trip or journey. It could be because there's a new opportunity or a new offer. Tell me about, for some of you, tell me about that Knight of Swords. What's that about? What's going on with that Knight of Swords in the month of October for Aries? Oh. Okay, wish will not be granted. Someone or something is working against you. Possibly some of you are trying to save up for some kind of trip. Or something that you're trying to work up. You feel or you are being limited here more in October. But you're meeting it. You're meeting it. You're still working hard towards it. We are making progress. We go from the 7 to the 8. But that Ace of Wands, I feel like this is the relief we need. Yep. And then an exciting event. So you're invited to some kind of exciting event. For some of you, this could be a journey, a vacation, travel. Tell me about the Ace of Wands with the King of Cups. Tell me about that Ace of Wands for Aries in the month, okay? Compliments from an admirer. So someone could be expressing something here that they want to start something with you at an event, some kind of event. So we got kind of a lot going on here in October, it feels like. There's some kind of announcement or an offer that's kind of a big deal. Maybe it's by someone that you actually wanted to notice you. I get this shyness around, well, not shy, but she's playing coy. Alright, so let's move on. At work, I feel like you're grinding against, you're grinding. And then in love, there's a new potential person. Alright, so last one, November. We're back at a choice. Wait, that's not right. My bad. Chose the wrong card. Eight of Cups. We may be walking away from a suitor person. Possibly this person has come out 3 times, or this is the 3rd time I'm seeing the Knight of Wands. So Aries, Leo, Sag. Some of you may be leaving this person behind, walking away, or they could be doing that to you because they feel like something is missing. They're not happy where they're at. Tell me about the Knight of Wands with the Eight of Cups for Aries. This could be you just choosing to walk away from someone or something because you're no longer emotionally fulfilled. You're no longer happy. Tell me about that Knight of Wands and the Eight of Cups. Sorry if my camera dies. I hope it doesn't, but 1. Okay, that's the one. 10 of Wands. What are we walking away from? With that Eight of Cups. No. We're taking an action here, or someone else is. I want to clarify, but I really don't have time. My camera's close to dying. After my light goes, it's my camera next. So we're emotionally walking away or distancing ourselves from something or someone. It's hard to walk away. Tell me about, there could be an older woman involved. Tell me about this 8 of Cups. No. Damn it.
I'm trying to hurry.
Shit goes wrong. Tell me about the 8 of Cups, please. Why is that here? What does it represent? Okay, I'll take it. Something important, such as a new job or raise. So some of you could be choosing to walk away in order to achieve this. Some of you could be walking away from something important for whatever reason. Maybe it just, you know, it wouldn't make you happy. You know it wouldn't fulfill you. Or you're choosing to leave someone or something behind in order to get a new job or a raise. Tell me about that Knight of Wands. Possibly this Knight of Wands was someone that you needed to take care around. Enemies are working against you. If this person wasn't they weren't adding to. Okay, it says camel, persevere and you will overcome problems, and leg, stepping into a new experience. Ten of Wands, why is it here? Ten of Wands, please. I'm not taking that many. Ten of Wands, tell me about that Ten of Wands. Alright. Someone is extremely stubborn and unwilling to change. Yeah, it feels like you're being that way. You're not looking to anyone or anything. You've made up your mind back here, it seems, in this part of the year, and nothing or no one is going to stand in your way. And some of that requires, you know, it requires saying no and walking away when you don't want to, or it doesn't always feel right, but you've made up your mind. And then part of you knows that sometimes these people are working against you, or at least that feels that way. Like they're wanting you to stay where they are. Alright, so let's look at the overall theme and energy of the whole entire reading. What's the overall theme, takeaway, energy of the year for you? Realization of some kind of dream, some kind of wish. Getting back in touch with that. I think it's been hidden or repressed for a very long time. And this year is all about getting back in touch with that. Finding it, being inspired, being inspired to have hope, faith, again, in some kind of wish, in some kind of desire. My camera is literally blinking that it's about to die. But this is all about uncovering new gifts, understanding that maybe where you were, where you've been, is not where you wanted to be, and you're re-entering into a phase where you know what you want with the Star. Tell me about that Page of Cups. The overall theme, energy. Alright. Romance, celebration, party. Weird card, but it keeps coming out for you. Tell me about the moon. Tell me about the moon here. Let me know in the comments if this resonated. Time to act. Like, share, subscribe. Tell me about the Star. What's the Star here for Aries? It's also about healing old wounds, healing old traumas. That's shadow work for you. I think the beginning of the year is the hardest, and then it lightens up a little mid-year. And at the end of the year, we're making some difficult decisions, but you feel they're necessary. star, because you have your star. You're aligning with your true purpose in this year. Anything. Star, please. Why is a star here? What does it represent? Why is it here? There we go. Getting together with friends. Dogs. I don't know. This is bizarre. I think it's because I'm in such a rush. I'm trying to get it out before. Usually these are on point with what I've been saying, but I'm trying to rush and it's... Alright, bread and grasshopper. Period of prosperity and abundance. Situation in the balance that requires careful handling. And that's kind of that star energy, having a hold on both reality and dream in order to achieve something that felt unattainable before, but now you have your heart set here, is what I'm feeling. Carriage, a journey, either physical or mental. For some of you, there's a trip in the year 2023 that's going to be very influential for you, because we've had that quite a few times. Hidden secrets can harm you. I think that's about not hiding, not running away from the things that make you uncomfortable. And in these months especially in April, is when we're faced with that and we're forced to acknowledge or deal or resolve it. So that's your reading for 2023. Aries, let me know in the comments if this resonated, if you enjoyed it. Like, share, subscribe if you want to see future content. I thank each and every one of you who dropped in or stayed throughout. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week, and yeah, talk to you next time.